Thanks to everybody who posted what a blog is and what a blog is not, or what a blog has and what it does not have, earlier in the week. We're looking at blogs this week so that we can write our own blog based on some drama and work that we're going to do on paleontology or fossil finding later in the week. So a blog is an online diary, and it usually involves pictures. It usually has many entries, and they usually go in reverse chronological order. Have a think about what that means, reverse chronological. So that means that the most up-to-date is first. So you see the most recent post first. Blog is short for web blog. It's a way of keeping a personal journal or diary online. A person might post recipes or stories online. Sometimes people have fashion blogs, community blogs, science blogs, art blogs, anything that is your passion, anything you have a zest for, you could have a blog about. There's often a comments section at the bottom so people can interact and get in touch with the person who's written the blog. And it's a cheap, effective way of for people to show their work on the internet. So scientists sometimes use a blog. A paleontologist, the type of scientist that follows and looks at fossils and looks at remnants left behind, things from dinosaur era and from early human era. There are lots of places you can sign up and you can get a free blog. So people usually use an online platform to post their writings, their online diary, and you can get those for free. Once you've started, you can post pictures, music, writing. So here you go, here's an example. Lyndon's fossil blog found this fossil today with a picture. And with an audio blog, you can upload music and other audio files. And a video blog is the same, but with video files. A photo blog uses photographs, and it's like an electronic photo album. And blogs first popped up in the mid-1990s. And the first ever blogger was Justin Hall, who was a college children, that doesn't make sense, a college student. I'm glad I noticed that and fixed it, who blogged in 1994. And today there are tens of millions of blogs. Just a quick thing before we look at blogs, be careful what you post on your blog. Remember, although you can delete it and take it down, anything left on the internet, people can take screenshots and save copies so you'll be able to download things and be able to see them in the future. So just be careful what you write on there. Don't reveal any personal information, no name, no other contact information. So think of a story that's in the news right now. You might want to go onto Newsround and have a quick look at the headlines there. And then if you research it on the internet, see what you find. I bet you'll find lots of blogs about the subject. See if you can find any of these blogs. A music blog, a food blog, a news blog, or a book blog. Can you find those? And make a little note about what you found that falls under each category. Vocabulary, so a blog. What's a blog? You might want to scroll back to the beginning of this video to have a look. What does chronological mean? And what's a journal? We are going to be writing blogs about finding fossils. So I used this example already on Monday. This is from Leonard's blog. And if we go to Leonard's blog, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to post it into the internet and show you Leonard's blog. Here is this entry online. So you can see the philosophy of paleontology blog. Philosophy means thinking about paleontology. We've got entries all down here. These are different entries that Leonard has made. and you can have a read of that. So this was written in August 19th, 2017. Blogs often have the date on there. And a title. Return to the field on our final day of collection. Most of what we did was clean up, removing flags, noting what we couldn't collect, etc. It's funny how much my standards have changed. Fossil fragments that would have excited me on the first day now don't seem worth the 2 minutes it would take to wait for my GPS to register a satellite signal. Again, Logan Butt is very fossiliferous. My first field experience, and I'm already spoiled. With all that said, I want to make a few notes about field attire. He's going to talk, I guess, about what he's got to wear. So here's his picture. I've developed a reputation among my classmates as an overdresser. I'm also one of 2 people in camp who hasn't gotten hardly sunburnt in the past 2 weeks. The other is an instructor who also covers up from head to toe. Correlation or causation? You decide. We're working in the Oregon high desert. It's hot. I can get why others are inclined to strip down to t-shirts, shorts and a thin layer of sunscreen, but I also remember how I was first introduced to desert attire in the original Star Wars. So it's very personal that he's using, the tone that he's using there. Although it is formal, he's not writing like text speak or like you would in an email to somebody. He is writing in full sentences, but he's writing in a chatty manner, as if you, the reader of the blog, are his friend. This is a second blog, Fossils, Facts and Finds. And this one's slightly different. So this one is documenting the finds. Basilosaurus, here they've got a picture again. Roaming the seas some 41 to 34 million years ago was the Basilosaurus, a formidable prehistoric carnivorous whale from the late Eocene, originally thought to have been a monstrous reptilian creature. Later evidence revealed that it was instead an early marine mammal. So they thought it was a reptile, but actually it was a mammal living in the sea, much like a whale today. Okay. Believed to have been quite common in the waters of the Tethys Sea, the Basilosaurus ranked among the largest animals present during the Paleogene geologic period. During this period, the whale was an apex predator, that means the top predator, easily taking on the likes of marine mammals, large fish, and even sharks. However, science would reveal that the Dorodon, similar to dolphins, was its predominant or preferred source of food. In this guide, we'll take you on a journey to explore some of the most interesting facts about the Basilosaurus. Let's dive in. So this blog has a slightly different feel. It's got a slightly different purpose. This one is more of a fact file telling you information that they know about this particular dinosaur. And the blog is ordered by different types of animal rather than ordered by date, less of a diary. It's even included a timeline. This is the type of blog that you are going to be writing. A day in the life of a paleontologist fossil hunting in the New Mexico desert. So this person is giving an overview of what their life is like. Now you're going to imagine that you are on a fossil hunt. You're on a paleontology dig and you find a fossil. How do you feel when you first find it? Where do you find it? What were you doing before you found it? Who do you share it with? You're going to base your writing on the drama and thinking you did yesterday. So we're going to use this as a guide to help you write your own blog about finding a fossil for the first time. So I want you to be thinking as you're reading this blog, what information do I need to include? Tuesday, May 24th, 2016. The tent is finally getting warm after a cold night in the San Juan Basin. I hear people rustling around outside, so it must be time to get up and get ready. I will admit I didn't sleep that well since it was my first night on the ground since last year. I put on my gear to protect myself from the sun. Hats and sunglasses are a must. 7:20 a.m. Preparing breakfast and coffee with everyone, but we mainly just eat simple food in the morning. I bought a box of Pop-Tarts back in Albuquerque, which is definitely not something I would eat at home, but I like to splurge more on junk food in the field. We forgot coffee filters and make paper towel cones instead. We're impressed with our own ingenuity. 8:13 a.m. Time for us all to head out into the field. One member of the team saw some bone fragments on a small hill, and we think it might be a good idea to hack into the rock a little more to see if there's more bone underneath. Usually we just prospect for fossils on the surface, but if it looks like there might be more bone going into the rock, we can quarry in. 9 a.m. The quarrying is productive and we're finding more bone in the consolidated rock. Hooray! One of the graduate students, Sarah, swings away at the rock with a paleo pick. 10:02. We're back at the camp to meet a Japanese film crew that is coming out to the field to film our adventures. We decide to take them to another site we were at yesterday where we found a lot of mammal jaws. 11:15 a.m. The Japanese film crew is following us and we're looking for fossils. No pressure. Noon. We break for lunch under a tree. We mostly pack sandwiches that we make at camp in the morning. The weather has been nice and not too hot, but it's still good to hang out in the shade. Now on to writing your blog. Remember, you're going to write in paragraphs and it's like an online diary, so you will need to put a date and there'll need to be a title. But these are some questions you should be thinking about. Where are you? What were you looking for? What did you find? Where did you find it? Who were you with? How did you feel? Who did you show it to, the fossil, when you found it? What do you hope to do with the fossil now? Are you going to give it to a museum, take it home, make a further discovery, or come back to search for more? So think about what, when you initially saw that fossil, had you been waiting hours and hours? Had you been digging for ages before you found it? When you found it, did you initially know what it was? Did you discuss it with someone? All of that needs to go into your blog entry and make it as exciting as possible. And think about all of the feelings that you had about that. And I can't wait to read your writing.